close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Present Flex 2025, and yes, I am wearing a hooded denim because why not? It's a bit cold in the house, so I'm just wearing a jacket for comfort and to keep myself warm. And, of course, how my new room is looking, it's in a work in progress on how I want it to look. And for what is planned, that is a whole other story for another time. And to give a recap, I got this Supreme Rogue shirt for Christmas 4 years ago. And this denim jacket 3 years ago, but it did not come with this hoodie. Well, it did not come with this hood, I should have said. Nevertheless, this was the first gift that I got this year. This is for my blood dad. This is a two-handed longsword. And from when my mom and I were having a conversation about it, she said that's one-handed, and I would beg to differ because this bitch is powerful if you swing with just one hand. So keeping it steady is better with two hands instead of one. There we go. Now things should be consistent. And at the time I am recording this, it is Christmas Eve, and you did see recently that the tree is up, so figured why not start off with that. And we're watching Violent Night. Pretty good Christmas movie, if you ask me. I remember seeing it in theaters 3 years ago, and let me tell you, it was such a fun time watching Violent Night in theaters. And as for the rest of what I got a new Steam game, which I'll show it at a later time. And all I know about it is that it's a dungeon crawler game, which I haven't fully dived my head in. As I was saying, I haven't fully dived my head into the idea of dungeon crawlers exactly yet, but for those who's been watching my gaming content, you would know that I am heavy into the horror genre. And the last horror movie that I watched, there's two perspectives. The last film that I've seen in theater when it comes to the horror genre is Five Nights at Freddy's 2. It was the first movie in 2023, and the first time that I saw a horror movie in theaters was It Chapter 2 back in 2019. And outside of theaters, it was Terrifier 3, which I have openly said my honest thoughts about how I feel about Terrifier which I did speak my mind about how I thought about it in episodes 24 and 25. Which, speaking of episode 25, I'll leave a link down in the description below. Really good episode. Go check out the podcast when you get the chance. And this new Five Nights at Freddy's cup, this is also a new thing that I got, which at the time we went to go see it in theaters, there was 3 cups. I cleaned the one that's on my shelf up before I fully dived my head into the idea of it being a display item. And as for the sword in question over here, my blood dad and I started getting along again because he was a piece of shit for being an abusive father back then, which, if you ask me, he would be a controversial parent if he was still in his old ways, which he's not anymore. So that's a positive note that I can bring. And as for the rest of what I got, you're gonna see it real soon. So, last minute, Jason here. So, there's some other stuff that I want to show, like this ocarina that I got from 2021. And there's also 2 hooded flannels that I have, but to make life easier, I'm just going to show a photo of the flannel in question. And this was my Halloween costume for 2025 because I didn't have much. And I dressed up as Skullface from the Mirrorgate universe for Halloween back in 2020. That is twice in a row that happened. I dressed up as Skullface from the Mirrorgate universe for Halloween in 2024. And if I had the funds for it, I was wanting to dress up as Art the Clown, but do my own twist with it. For real this time, let's see what I got. I just woke up a few minutes ago at the time of recording this video, and I decided to wear the red flannel instead just to make life easier on editing me. Nevertheless, this and the flannel that I was wearing yesterday at the time of recording, those were both Christmas presents 3 years ago. And this Supreme Rogue shirt that I'm wearing was 4 years ago. And there's a little something I do want to show. You see that ocarina over here? This was also from 2021, and I also have a Death Note notebook, but it's not on display right now. So yeah, I figured I'd do that just to make life a lot easier on editing me. So I do want to get the chance to fully wake up, and I did show the Five Nights at Freddy's cup that I have on display on my shelf in All Things Nerdy episode 24. Which, speaking of, for those who want to go check out episode 24 and episode 25, I'll leave a link to the entire podcast down in the description below. You don't have to listen to the earlier episodes. 24 and 25, it would be very much appreciated if you can go check out those episodes, because we've been having fun with the idea of doing collaboration episodes. But I will say this much, that way it's not a surprise later. We're going to be taking a short break from collaborating for episode 26 because my friends Ben, aka B Major, Giovanni, aka Shovel Knight, and as well as Ryan, aka Morton, have agreed on the idea of having episode 27 be a collaboration episode with Summer and Winter in celebration of the second anniversary of the podcast. So yeah, that's something to give you guys something to look forward to. And the day of the anniversary of the podcast is January 31st. And January 19th is the first anniversary of Order of the Amethyst Oak, which for those who wants to tune into Order of the Amethyst Oak, you can find us live from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. EST on twitch.tv/yuppinstobuddies, kick.com, same username, trouble.live. It is DA instead of THE because Trouble does not like TH in people's usernames. Nevertheless, that is all that I would like to get out of the way really quick. So, see you on the other side. Now I'm holding on to the memories. Yes, I wanted to reference Dying to Find a Home by the A-Games, which is a song that translates to The Amazing Digital Circus because Pomni. She's going on my hammock, but the question is, where do I want to have her at? I'm not fully sure yet, but also check it out. What are those? It's red and blue tie-dye Converse All-Star Chuck Taylors. And I'm not gonna lie, these are really comfortable. A lot more comfortable than I expected. And of course, there's only one that is not going to be shown, but that's okay. I can show it for episode 26 of the podcast. And also, check this out. I have a jewelry stand now. But wait. So these arms could be for the bracelets and the hooks could be for my necklaces. And there could also be spots for my earrings and for any rings that I have. So everything is all going to depend on what all happens. So yeah, that's all the physical stuff that I got. And I also have a ghost mug and some ocean scented body spray from Bath and Body Works. No, I'm not sponsored, just want to clarify that. But as for these shoes right here, those go hard with black ripped jeans, I'm not gonna lie. And as for the top part, it depends on what I wear. So yeah. See you later tonight. Okay, so I got some digital stuff. A good chunk of it, not a crazy amount of physical stuff, but it does feel good to have some new footwear. That way it's not a flip and switch between the Vans and the Adidas. Nevertheless, what we have is War Pipes, Just Cause 4, Borderlands 3, Police Stories, Children of Morta, Dishonored, Debilitated, Call of Juarez, Persona 5 Royal. No questions asked, am I going to stream this soon? Who pressed mute on Uncle Martis? The Dark Side Detective, Andros Dunos 2, Curved Space, Creepy Tale 3, Splash, Castlevania, Lord of Shadow, Mirror of Fate, The Coma 2 Vicious Sisters, and Dungeons of Sundaria. So I was told that I am going to get some more later from my mom. So when it comes to the Coma as a game series, that is no questions asked going to be a part of horror game season. Whether or not if Castlevania is going to be a part of horror game season is a whole other question on its own. And I do have plans on going all out on the very concept of it for 2026 because it's been a thing since 2021. For those who's been watching my content, you would know that. And as for the lighting, it honestly looks really good. And if you look at the sword in the background for if you were to tune into my streams, the sword doesn't feel out of the way, I should say. Well, it doesn't clash with the lighting. It does enough to where the lighting looks good and it's not hard to identify. And these Converses are really fucking comfortable and they look dope as shit, dude. Like, it's gonna be hard to top this so far for me. And as for Pomni, she's not on the hammock yet. So, see you later. Alright, so another thing for Present Flex 2025. We got a Flaming Hot Cheeto Ramen Bowl, which the shape looks like a to-go cook, which I'm not gonna lie, I love that design. And it honestly looks pretty good as a display item, let alone as its own thing. And there's one thing I do want to show to y'all. I did take the time to rearrange the hammock, so at least one or two more, or maybe three, because Beef, Bonnie, and Chica is in my throne as far as plushies go, and it's U2's ones as well. And that's the last of the physical stuff that I know that I'm going to be getting for the time being, so if there's any other surprises, I will let you know about it. So I got some more digital stuff. So I have all the Telltale's Walking Dead games, the rest of Amnesia, and we also have Amanda the Adventurer 2, April 24th, September 7th, Welcome to the Kowloon, Sons of the Forest, Dark Deception, Monsters and Mortals, The Witcher series, Kindergarten 1, The Forest, The Hanged Man, Franbo, Alice Madness Returns, and the Versursa cleanup retail games. And we also have the normal one and Shadow Warrior. And I did also get Henry Stickmin from B Major. Which, speaking of, B, if you're watching this, thank you for gifting me Henry Stickmin. It is very much appreciated. And I am no questions asked going to play it again, but this time on stream because the footage doesn't exist anymore, but I did a recording back from when I was known as Crazy Fox. Or, no, I think it was Crazy Ninja 51 at the time, which was my original name. Which, that makes me cringe thinking about it. The name, not the game. Nevertheless, we're eating good, and as for the Walking Dead games, I'm no questions asked going to play them again because it is such a fun experience. And for Dispatch, I'm gonna get it later because a good point that my mom brought up is that she does want to wait until it's back on full price to support the artists, which I'm willing to get it, whether if it's on sale versus full price. Because if I was to buy games for myself, anything that is under or at $40, I would be willing to buy full price or on sale. Over 40, I'm just gonna wait until it's on sale. Nevertheless, I'll give you any updates if any.
So I'm just laying down on my bed for the time being because I just ate some food and I'm letting it digest. And to be 100% honest, it is safe to say that I do not have anything else right now. So thank you all for watching Present Flex 2025. I hope you all had a good Christmas. And most importantly, I hope you have good New Year's. And as far as what is planned for the New Year's, I'm going to be hosting a community night on New Year's Eve at 9:30 p.m. EST. You can either tune in to my second channel, Samaroni, or twitch.tv/Samaroni_YT. So yeah. See you all around, and thank you for watching.